YouTube. Hey man, it's your boy Drop. We back here with another motherfucking reaction. And today we got why role players are getting so expensive. We trying to see why the sixth man, the seventh man, why the eighth man getting paid big bucks than some starters in the league, bruh. That's what we trying to figure out today. Let's see we got, if you new, like, comment, subscribe. Bangers all 2024, 2025, 2026. Nigga, let's get it.
What exactly does it mean to be a role player in today's NBA?
What does that mean?
If you're a front office executive for an NBA team, and even more important, is what is a role player worth?
Good question. Let's find out. Put me on.
Where new TV deals pave the way for salary cap.
Facts.
And teams are shelling out payrolls well above.
Shout out Porzingis, got them that championship.
Players that we traditionally view as supporting pieces, role players, are getting contracts that would have been reserved for only the top 1% of players in the league 10 years ago.
They're getting paid big bucks.
Of these players being called overpaid. But what does it actually mean to be overpaid in the NBA right now? It seems like ever since the new collective bargaining agreement, role players are receiving contracts that seem high in comparison to what we typically expect a role player's salary to be. Isaiah Hartenstein, for example, signed a $29 million
$29 million
from the City Thunder this offseason, and sure enough, there's no shortage of people calling this an overpay. But a little bit more about
he worth it though. I don't think that's overpaid.
So accustomed to the $12 million a year role player salaries of the past.
Shout out Monte Ellis, Kenneth Reed, Danny Green.
Might have been a standard
oh my fucking God.
But the reality is, the landscape of the NBA and how we view the economics of the league have to be fundamentally changed in order to make sense of what is, and more importantly, what isn't an overpay in today's league. And to begin to make that change,
get that shit out of here, Jamal.
Talking about one of the most exciting things there is to talk about, the salary cap.
Let's get into it.
Typically follows a year-by-year increase, and since the year 2000, it's gone up at a relatively steady rate. But then something weird happened.
What happened?
In 2016, there was a spike, a really big spike.
Damn.
What caused this spike?
What caused this shit?
A time when
2016
and the NBA Players Association were negotiating what would be the new collective bargaining agreement. The NBA had just gotten a nice fat new TV deal, and this meant more money than ever before for the
NBA got more money.
Smoothing of the cap. This would make it to where the influx of money would result in a gradual increase of the cap year over year. The Players Association didn't like that. Instead, favored a historic one-time spike. This caused the salary cap to increase by a never-before-seen $24,140,000.
The NBA getting paid, Chad. The NBA is getting paid. What? Oh my fucking God.
Theoretically, more flexibility than ever when
let me get KD. Let me get Eric Gordon. Come on now.
2015-2016 season. That would have come out to their contract taking up 35.7% of the salary cap. But if a player was making $25 million the year after, their $25 million contract
damn,
a much more reasonable 26.6% of the salary.
Look at that jump. That's a big jump. That mean they had a lot of money in 2016. They had a lot of money, bro.
Yesterday's price.
It's not today's price. Facts.
But all of that was almost 10 years ago. How does it relate to what's happening now? Well, let's return back to that graph. If we follow it forward just a little bit more, the same thing ended up happening for the 2022.
No.
Gradual increase. All of a sudden, there was a major jump. An $11.2 million jump. The salary cap was set at $123 million.
The NBA bag is deep.
2022-23 season. If that already seems like a crazy amount of increase in a short amount of time, it goes even further than that.
What?
For the upcoming 2024-25 season, the salary cap is set at a whopping $140,500,000.
My eyes, chat. Am I reading that right? What? Yo, the NBA bag is deep. NBA bag is deep, bro. Go be an NBA player.
The salary cap went from $70 million to $140 million. It's double. Let's put this into some context using percentage of the salary cap. The player making $25 million a year back in 2016, that was taking up 35.7% of the salary cap, would now only be taking up 17.9% of the salary cap.
Oh my God.
This explains some of the why when you're talking about the reasoning
my God.
giving out these larger
Hey,
contracts.
it's time to be a hooper. Go get that max contract in.
17.9% of the
This
salary
is-
cap would have been about $12 million.
This is why we got people like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on the same team making $300 million. These NBA teams' bag is deep. That's more than half a billion. That's $600 million amongst two people. Not to mention they got Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Derek White. I mean, the list goes on. The team, the bag is deep, bro. The Celtics bag is deep. They got people they can pick from. You know, they got a collection. That's actually insane, bro.
So if you think about it in that sense, a role player now
Take
isn't
off.
making any more than a role player from 9 years ago.
Really?
When you put it into the perspective of percentage of the cap.
Hmm.
But I'm going to propose another argument. Not only do I not think
Percentage of the cap.
overpaid, I actually think that you can make the argument that they're not getting paid enough relative to the value that you're going to be getting out of them. Latavius Caldwell
Tell me how.
signed a 3-year, $66 million contract with the Magic.
What's
which
that,
sets him
22?
Up to earn
Yeah.
roughly $22 million a year.
That's good.
Obviously, with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, you get an elite complementary shooter, which is perfect to put around budding superstar Paolo Banchero. But when you factor in the defensive value that he provides, his overall value skyrockets.
In them lanes.
He's one of the best
In them
guard
lanes.
players in the league,
In them
which is
lanes.
perfect for a defensive-oriented team like Orlando. Considering they're working with a lot of rookie-scale contracts at the moment,
Give me that.
a lot of players' bird rights to work with, locking down
Bang,
3
bang.
years of KCP is an extremely smart move. His $22 million a year only takes up 15.7% of
That's
the
a
salary
good-ass
cap,
deal.
which is well below what you'd expect for a player of his value.
That's a good-ass deal.
Claxton is another guy
Oh,
who
yeah.
secured a contract that was eyebrow-raising at first glance.
And won.
But he's proven that he can make noise.
And
in
won
Defensive
for real.
Player of the Year conversations. He worked
DPOY
well
candidate.
alongside Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. So you
Cam
know that he
Thomas.
can fit in whatever team you put him on. And he's only 25 years old. His 4-year, $97 million contract carries an average salary of roughly
$24 million.
a
Shit.
year, which is only 17.1% of the salary.
That's
cap.
a good ass.
Considering that
Come on
most
now.
guys making noise in the DPOY race each year are making significantly more than what Claxton will be making. If
And
that
won.
works,
Get
his
off me,
contract
Wemby.
is a bargain for Brooklyn. Now, I want to talk about.
That's what I'm saying. That's a good-ass deal.
He's kind of been the poster child of role players getting massive contracts this offseason.
I just got paid $60,000 for my car crash from using this app on my phone. And I don't know if you could.
His deal is for 3 years, $87 million, which carries an average salary of $29 million. This is the first contract where we see a guy like this taking up over 20% of the salary cap. But here's the kicker. In year 1 of his deal, he's going to be making $30 million, which
Really?
comes out to 21.3% of the salary.
That ain't
cap.
too bad, though. Isaiah Hartenstein is a
Contract
bucket.
Front-loaded. So in year 2,
And a
his
snagger.
guaranteed value drops down to 28.5
Shit.
which is projected to only take up 18.4%.
Nah, they
of the
got a
salary cap. The third
steal.
year is where it gets really
The Thunder.
interesting.
Wait, what'd he do?
Not only is he projected to only take up 16.8% of the salary cap, but this year is also a team option, which gives
Oh
We
my
have to
God.
rewind back to that old framework
we gone.
had of role players getting contracts in that
Bang,
10 to
bang.
15 million a year range. Isaiah Hartenstein's contract is going to take up, on average, 18.8% of the salary cap.
I just want to understand what his thought process was. I mean, maybe they couldn't keep him, but he was on a contending team and signed to another one. If he could have stayed on the Knicks, I wish he would have stayed. But I don't know. Me
18.8%
personally,
of the
I wish he
salary
would have stayed
cap
on the
back
Knicks.
when the salary cap was 70 million would come out to $13.2 million. So realistically, This
Damn,
is
why?
about market value for a player of Hartenstein's caliber. We can pivot over to another Knicks player, OG Anunoby.
OG.
He's an interesting guy to talk
Yeah,
about
he making
in
a
this
bag.
discussion
Oh
of
my
role
God,
player
OG got a
contracts
bag.
because his contract is significantly bigger than the ones that we've talked about so far. His contract is a massive 5-year, $212.5 million
He got a
deal,
max.
which comes out to him making an average
Is that a
of
max?
$42.5 million a year.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. 42 billion a year? Oh my fucking God.
Here, considering how much bigger this is than some of these other deals,
Oh my
is it
fucking
overpay?
God.
Well, this is where it gets interesting. In year one, his deal will account for 26.1% of the salary cap, which is quite a bit. His contract is backloaded, so he's going to be making $39.6 million in year two of his deal, but there's a catch. Because of the salary cap increase, he's projected to be taking up roughly the same amount of the salary cap as he was in year one of the contract, despite making more money than he was in the first year of his deal, and that's a trend that will continue throughout the duration of this contract. So even though he will make more and more money as the years go by, he'll still only be taking up right around 25% or less of the salary cap, meaning New York will still have some level of flexibility throughout his time on the team. But even without the nuance of how his contract is structured, I'd argue New York is still more than happy to give him this deal. They're not in a position where they need to worry about paying their stars. They have Jalen Brunson on an incredibly team-friendly deal, and they've got a solid supporting cast and some flexibility depending on how they choose to proceed with Julius Randle.
And why?
Teams that are giving out these quote-unquote overpays to non-star caliber players
And why?
are doing it
Oh,
because
get that
that's
shit
what
out of
they
here.
do
You
when
got
they're
there?
looking to contend for a championship,
Ooh.
with the exception of the Brooklyn Nets, of course, with
And
Claxton.
why?
But I already explained how Claxton is a guy that can only serve to benefit them long term, regardless of who they bring in. When you have your primary and
And why?
secondary options, and even your third or fourth options taken care of, then it's time to focus on retaining these supporting pieces.
Facts,
These are the
facts,
guys that win you
facts.
championships. Your stars can only do so much.
All right, last
Every
sentence.
championship run, we see time and time again how the role players are the ones that come through consistently and in the biggest moments to help get teams over the hump. In the teams that
Hey, that's facts, bro. Actually, I'm gonna let it play. I was finna end
usually
early.
end up talking about their lack of a supporting cast.
Yeah, but
If you're
that
a general manager and the choice is between winning a
Bang.
championship or saving a few dollars, you take the shot at a championship every time. I hope you guys
Facts.
enjoyed this video. I know this is a little
Hey
bit
man, that's a banger ass video, bro. We learning why these role players are making all this money. We see how much money the NBA really has to like move around between these teams and teams between the players. Like it's really crazy. It's a lot of money being circulated through the NBA. I need to get in some of that NBA money, so I need to get on this media team. The only way I can do this is if you like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, man. Appreciate that. Hey, let's get it all 2024.